So quiet. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Missoula's 32nd annual MLK Junior Day Community Celebration. Thank you guys for braving the cold to celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. here with us. Give yourselves a round of applause. Like I said, it's so quiet. Well, my name is Kiera Sam. I'm a morning news anchor at KFAX TV, but today I am the MC for the event. Introducing you to the many performers and the speakers who will be here tonight. The MLK Planning Committee has been working nonstop for the past few months to make sure that you leave tonight with a deeper understanding of why we're here to celebrate this day. Well, now we're going to begin our time together with a land acknowledgement by John Lund, representing the MLK Planning Committee.
The MLK Day planning team acknowledges that we are occupying ancestral and unceded indigenous land. The Missoula and Bitterroot Valleys are the homelands of the Salish and Kalispel people who have inhabited this land since time immemorial. This area was also frequently used by other tribes, including the Kootenai, Blackfeet, Shoshone, Crow, and Kiowa peoples. We respect the original stewards of this land and their descendants, many of whom continue to live, work, teach, and thrive in this community, despite years of colonization, genocide, displacement, and erasure. We honor and affirm tribal sovereignty and are committed to dismantling white supremacy and deconstructing racist and oppressive systems and attitudes in our thoughts and actions. We encourage you to seek out and support Indigenous-led organizations in your community. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Well, now we would like to thank St. Anthony Parish for hosting us here in support of Father Pasquale Kazansky, who couldn't make it tonight. Father Ed Kohler will now share some opening remarks.
As she mentioned, my name is Father Ed Kohler. I was the pastor on the Blackfeet Indian Reservation for the last 35 years. I just here recently retired, 77 years old. And I remember very well, let me qualify that. I was pretty young back in the mid-60s, the early 60s, but I certainly remember everything that was happening with Dr. Martin Luther King at that time, and as a pastor too. So many things were happening back in those days. And so I was here just to be here. That was my intent. But then Father Pascal, the pastor of the parish here, found himself sick. And so, because I am part of the priesthood and have celebrated Mass in this church here, they invited me to welcome you, which is a supreme blessing to me to be able to do that in the context of what the theme of this time is as we gather here to honor Dr. Martin Luther King. Those 1960s, those years, I see that there are some people here that do remember those years. They were transformative in so many different ways. For the Catholic Church, for example, the Second Vatican Council was active in transforming the church and bringing the social justice issues of the world into the faith life of the church. Also, another thing that was very important back in those days is the different denominations were working in an ecumenical kind of way, trying to come together as one body in Jesus to act and get along together as the body of Christ. And then there's the social justice issues that was happening in the nation at the time, and Dr. Martin Luther King was a prophetic voice that was absolutely amazing to see what was happening. And the courage that he had to face down the structures that were apparent at that time, that many people even didn't know about. In other words, the consciousness of the people of the United States at that time had to be raised. And the insight of Dr. King was, let's do it, but let's do it peacefully. And that became a theme that was part of my whole life, leading me into priesthood, actually. And like I say, I'm very familiar with what has gone on with our Blackfeet people up on the Blackfeet Reservation. That's been my home for the last 35 years. And I know what our people are up against and the issues that are involved in that. And so in that context, it's a delight for me to be here with you right now to welcome you into this church, into this place, to do something that is certainly honoring Dr. King, but also to celebrate something that's been given to us by him, in that what he has done for this country and this community has transformed our experience of history for the last, I hate to even guess how many years that is, I'm not even quite sure. 1964 is when I graduated from high school. That must be about 60 years ago, right? We've been transformed in those 60 years, you know? And it's been quite a journey. And quite frankly, I think Dr. Martin Luther King would say this journey really has only just begun. And so, welcome you. I praise God. In the name of the Catholic Church, is very much into the social justice issues. I praise God that you're here to do this, to celebrate. And I just simply pray that as we gather together, that in this time, that in the presence of our God who's here, that everything that we do, give glory, honor, and praise to this good God. Dr. King would say the same thing. He was a pastor. And so, having said that, I think I pass this over to you. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you for those remarks. The national anthem is widely known across the U.S., but we're highlighting the Black national anthem tonight. It was originally a poem written in 1900, and it became the official song of the NAACP in 1919. Well, today I have the privilege of introducing the talented young lady who will be singing the Black national anthem with us today. Jasmine Caldwell Smith is an undergraduate at the University of Montana studying culinary art and business. She moved to Darby in 2019 to study forestry and conservation, but soon found out a long-hidden love for cooking. And now, during her final year of college, she has earned the title of Black Student Union President. And once she graduates, she hopes to move back home to Texas and open a restaurant in her community. Let's welcome Jasmine.
For all of you guys who know the lyrics, I welcome you guys to sing along with me.
he makes his way up here, we would like to give Murray a warm welcome. He will be introducing Martin Charlo, and he will also be talking about MLK Day history and recognizing the committee.
So there was this baby on the train tracks. I tried my hardest to save it without getting injured, but I tripped and hurt my leg. And you know that's not true. I actually fell down the steps of my house on the ice. Only 3 steps, no big deal. But it's Montana. You do what you need to do to get the job done. You guys have evidenced that by being here tonight. So to give yourselves a round of applause first. So I was tasked with reading the history of the MLK committee, and I think I'm going to forego that tonight. That's in your program, and it's also online in digital form as well too. And just talk just a little bit quickly about this committee. I've been on this committee for several years. Too many years I can't count. Somebody might know how long, but it formed shortly before the King holiday itself. There's a lot of work done by several people together. It was an ad hoc group of people who really didn't call themselves a committee. There was Dr. Harry Fritz, there was Ray Carlisle, and several other people from the University of Montana, including Dr. Doss, who had lobbied hard for the MLK holiday to be held in Montana, and they were eventually successful with that. The committee, there were 2 committees initially. One committee was through the university, of course, and the other was formed in the community of Missoula. The university committee kind of dissipated to some degree because students were gone during the holiday at the time. I think we were on was it a quarter system or semester system? Who can remember? There's a lot of university folks in here. Whatever system we were on at the time. Well, so some of those members morphed off and formed a community committee, and that community committee has been in operation since that time. That committee basically starts in September. There are volunteers from the community. It is not a professional committee by any means in terms of how we're organized and all those types of things. We're just there to get the job done. That entails contacting folks to come and speak, contacting folks to come and sing, contacting folk, musicians and other people as well too. The art essay contest that you're going to hear about today, tons of work goes into that. And I'm happy to say that we've kind of passed the torch on to the younger generation and put them in charge of that particular facet of the program tonight. So really thankful for them, for all the work that they've done here lately, and they continue to do as well too. There are several members of the current committee that are in the audience today. I would ask that they stand. I'd ask them to stand as well too. You guys will remember this. I've got the microphone. I didn't call anybody out. I see you still sitting there. All right. Thank you for being here. That's much appreciated. My next task is introducing Martin Charlo. I don't have Martin's bio with me, but I just want to speak from the heart about Martin. Martin's the son of Vic Charlo, and I said last year that Vic is a national treasure, and I truly believe that his father is one of the most amazing human beings I've ever met in my life. I would like to see more done to recognize Vic, to give him his roses while he's here. That would be a beautiful thing from the university, from the city of Missoula, as well as the state of Montana. I'll just say that about Vic. I'll leave it to you to go and Google Vic and see all the most incredible work that he's done. Incredible human being. Martin is a son. Martin follows in his father's footsteps. I first met Martin, I don't think he remembers this, years ago at a friend of ours' house where he was brought to. He doesn't remember that. At least he's pretending he doesn't remember at this point. Martin, I got to know a little bit later on playing basketball at the Old Men's Gym. How many of you remember the Old Men's Gym? Okay, you didn't have to be an old man to play there. But we called it that for several years. Martin, I met Martin playing there. And Martin, I can tell you, may tell you stories about me. Don't believe a word he says. I appreciate that. Martin was an incredibly good athlete as well, too. But I never really appreciated his mantra, which was no autopsy, no foul. So, with that glowing introduction in mind, I'd like to proudly introduce Martin Shaw.
Thank you, Murray. I'll give you a second to sit back down. Great introduction. I wish my dad could be here tonight. He's 86, just had his birthday, so it's one of those passing the time that you never want to see your parents get old, but just a little bit off topic. Lemon Pessiad, Estinakake, Mark Charlotte through East West. Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Martin Charlo. As Murray said, I'm a member of the Confederate Salish Kootenai Tribes on the Flat Indian Reservation north of here. I appreciate the land acknowledgement. I'm also a member of the Tribal Council, just newly elected this past January. This is my second term. They're 4-year terms, and so it's always an honor to come here and have Murray and the rest of the community embrace this holiday. I did this last year, and the turnout is great, especially this year with the cold weather. I appreciate everyone that's here today. Just to build on the land acknowledgement, this area is probably one of the most important areas of our Aboriginal territory. I'm a member of the Bitterroot Salish who inhabited this area. There are historical pictures if you want to go look at the University of Montana's collection of camps in this area. This area used to be prominent with Bitterroot and a lot of our wild game and the things that we sustained ourselves on. And so this is something that's really important to do that and talk about that history. Also I had my grandmother who lived in Missoula, so I spent a lot of time in this area on the university campus. And my dad went to school there as well, and my grandma taught there. And I used to. I think it was actually Murray's mantra, the no foul. He was. I learned to play some very, very hard basketball at a young age. And, it's been an honor to kind of know him and grow as a person. I read the Martin Luther King speech, and it was something that was really the quote itself is something coming out of a political election. Talking about how technology is so great and how far we've come, but the reality is it feels like we're actually going backwards a lot of times. With technology, with people being able to hide behind keyboards and take shots at you about things and do it anonymously at times, or do it behind the things that you won't say to someone's face is something that you can type and leave and not have any care about it. And I feel like as we come into this month, this is probably one of the most important months for our people as far as prayer and getting back to the things that we need to preparing for the year to come, and pray for all these things that are important to us. Our health, our families, our material things, and we care about everything. And that's the one thing that I really took away from this year at our lodge and everything is that the care for one another. And it's not just our people; it's everyone. We pray for the water and the air and the animals and the things that sustain us. And that's not just for us; that's for everyone. That's for the community. And Missoula is a great community to support things like this. This crowd. Thank you all for being here today. It's something where we have the ability to truly change and embrace where we're at and as a people, we're trying to go almost backwards, because we lost so much. We lost a lot of our language, a lot of our culture. And this month and the things that we do kind of privately are getting back to that. Our language is something where we used to be able to communicate with animals. And people kind of don't understand that. But truly, that was something where we were one with nature and we were one with the natural environment. And we have that ability to go back to that. And it's something that, as we grow our language, as we have our immersion schools and our language in our public schools, hopefully more of that will happen. We're going backwards to learn the things that we always have had instilled in us. And it's something that we have that ability to truly do is once our language is stronger. And that's something where, the natural environment, if you sit in nature long enough, you can hear animals talking to each other, birds chirping and communicating. And it's amazing to sit there and be in silence. And that's something we don't have anymore with the technology. We can get on a plane and fly. I don't like water, but if you want to get on a boat and go float, that's up to you guys. But it's something where, but we've also always embraced technology. We've also advanced, and we've done very well for ourselves as a tribe, as a nation. And so it's something where I hope that this growth of this holiday makes us realize that we're all one, we're all humans. That's something where our Salish, the Salish name means flesh of the earth, that we're all that. We all come from this earth. We all bleed the same blood, and we're all related. And that's the things, the teachings that my elders have tried to instill in us. And it's something that I'll try to continue to teach my children, and hopefully their children. A lot of the decisions I make as a leader aren't for right now, they're for the future. They're for the generations to come. And I just recently became a grandfather, which is crazy in itself, but that really made me realize how important that is to just be a good person. And Martin Luther King was such an eloquent speaker. I get really intimidated coming up here and kind of being on this platform and trying to convey some of his thoughts or my thoughts on what he's saying and intertwining with our native culture and our native kind of way of life. And it's something that I hope that we can all do more. We can all treat each other kindly. We can all get along as brothers and sisters, and we'll all be better for it. So with that, one lunch, Pesia. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Thank you.
Well, as Martin Luther King Jr. once said, we are not makers of history, we are made by history. So thank you to Murray Pierce for educating us about the history of this day, and thank you for your remarks, Martin Charlo. Well, at this time, we would like to acknowledge the newly elected mayor of Missoula and other city and county representatives present. Would you all please stand? Thank you all for being here tonight.
I know, that's
Well, moving right along, up next is our community choir, which is directed by UM grad student Kevin Willis and accompanied by Alice Williams. They will present you with 2 selections. Let's give them a warm round of applause as they make their way up here.
lights our ways. A world I dream where black or white, whatever race you be, will share the bounties of the earth, and every man is free, where wretchedness will hand its head, and joy like a pearl. Attend the needs of all mankind, of such I dream my world.
Give them another round of applause. Nonprofit allowed her to share her passion for education and community involvement through DEIJ, or Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Justice training, speaking events, and keynotes focused on empowering and uplifting the voices of marginalized peoples. She's worked with numerous companies and organizations in facilitating, diversifying their workplace culture and policies to reflect the communities in which they serve. She's also a founding member and sits on the board of the Montana Black Collective Missoula. It's an organization that's dedicated to empowering people of color in Missoula by providing community support, cultural heritage protection, and personal growth and development. Chris Greer.
Good evening, everyone. What an honor it is to be here with all of you this evening. Thank you for joining me today as we reflect on the profound words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a man whose legacy continues to inspire and guide us towards a more just and compassionate society. In his eloquent and timeless quote, Dr. King observed, "We have learned to fly the air like birds and swim the sea like fish, but we have not learned the simple art of living together as brothers." Those words encapsulate a universal truth that transcends time and challenges us to examine the state of our humanity. As we look at the advancements in technology and the remarkable feats of human achievement, it's essential to pause and reflect on the simplicity of coexistence. Dr. King was a visionary leader and a champion of civil rights, who recognized that despite our progress in various domains, the essence of living together harmoniously eluded us. In his call for unity, brotherhood, and understanding, it resonates as strongly today as it did during the civil rights movement. We find ourselves in a world where diversity is celebrated, but divisions continue to persist. Dr. King's words challenge us to confront the barriers that hinder our ability to live as brothers and sisters. In contemplating his message, we must acknowledge that achieving harmony requires more than technological advancements or scientific breakthroughs. It demands a collective commitment to empathy, compassion, and justice. Dr. King's dream was not just about equality in the eyes of the law, but also about fostering a genuine sense of brotherhood among all people. It's important for us to remember that the simple art of living together requires intentional efforts. Efforts to bridge gaps and build bridges of understanding. It necessitates conversations that go beyond the superficial and our differences and delve into the shared humanity that binds us together. His legacy challenges us to confront our biases, confront injustice, and actively work towards a society where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. I believe we can all agree that confronting bias, addressing injustices, and striving towards a society where every individual is treated with dignity and respect is of the utmost importance. In a world that is becoming increasingly diverse, it is crucial that we actively engage. Let me repeat that we actively engage in conversations that challenge our biases and promote fairness and equality. Biases are inherent to human nature. We all have them. They're shaped by our experiences, our upbringing, and societal influences. However, it is our responsibility to recognize and confront these biases because they can lead to unfair treatment, discrimination, and perpetuate social injustices. Confronting biases requires self-awareness It requires humility and a willingness to question our perceived notions. One of the first steps towards overcoming biases is acknowledging their existence. It is essential to reflect on our thoughts, our attitudes, and behaviors to identify any prejudice that may be influencing our actions. This introspection isn't meant to evoke guilt, but to foster personal growth and a commitment to change. Confronting biases is not a solitary endeavor. It requires open dialogue and constructive conversations. We must create spaces where individuals feel safe to share their experiences and their perspectives, even when and if they differ from our own. This exchange of ideas is the foundation for building empathy, understanding, and dismantling stereotypes. In addressing biases, we also have to tackle the root cause of systemic injustices. Societal structures, policies, and institutions can perpetuate discrimination, creating barriers that hinder certain groups from fully participating in opportunity and accessing resources. It is our collective responsibility to advocate for and implement changes that promote equal opportunities for all. The fight against injustices extends beyond personal biases to encompass broader issues such as racial inequality, gender discrimination, economic disparities, and so much more. To create a just society, we must be proactive in dismantling these systems and those barriers. This involves advocating for inclusive policies, supporting marginalized communities, and challenging discriminatory practices wherever they exist. Moreover, achieving a society that treats everyone with dignity and respect requires fostering a culture of inclusivity. This means celebrating diversity, embracing the richness that different perspectives bring to the table. In an inclusive society, individuals are not judged based on superficial characteristics, but are valued for their unique qualities, talents, and contributions. Education plays a pivotal role in shaping attitudes and dismantling biases. By promoting educational initiatives that teach empathy, tolerance, and yes, critical thinking, we can raise a generation that is more aware of biases and committed to building a fair and just society. Educational institutions must also strive to represent the diverse voices in their curricula, ensuring that students learn from a variety of perspectives. In the past 7 years, there's been a concerted effort to prevent the teaching of true history. I think we've all experienced that. Topics relating to systemic racism, along with gender and race, are being suppressed in classrooms across the country, and educators are being threatened with being fired for teaching subjects that are prohibited and deemed as woke. In an article written by Ashina Robinson titled "The History They Don't Want You to Know" for the Legal Defense Fund, she wrote, and I quote, "According to an analysis by PEN America, which is a national nonprofit organization whose goal is to raise awareness for the protection of free expression, not only in the US but worldwide, through the advancement of literature and human rights, at least 10 states have a truth ban law as of January 2022. And an additional 100 gag order bills are slated for consideration in more than 30 states," end quote. These laws, policies, and procedures are focused on preventing the recognition of the invaluable contribution of Black Americans in our shared history, and it is a shared history. The recent push to ban Black authored books from school curriculum threatens the foundation of inclusive education. Recently, there has been a disconcerting effort to limit or eliminate the teaching of literature written by Black authors, particular works that explore the experiences, history, and perspectives of Black individuals. By suppressing Black authored literature, we risk perpetuating the distorted narrative that further marginalizes the contributions of Black individuals. When we limit the voices and the stories that are available to students, we hinder their ability to grasp the complexities of our shared history, and we impede their progress towards a more inclusive society. It's essential to reaffirm the importance of diverse voices and shaping a comprehensive and truthful understanding of history. Embracing diversity in literature isn't just an educational imperative, it's a moral obligation. Dr. King understood that education was not just about acquiring knowledge, but it was a catalyst for social transformation and the key to breaking the chains of injustice and inequality. He believed that education had the power to liberate minds and uplift communities. In one of his many powerful speeches while addressing students at Morehouse College in 1948, he stated, "The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education." These words resonate with timeless wisdom, emphasizing that education is not merely about memorizing facts, but about developing the ability to think deeply, to think critically, and to think ethically. He recognized education as a tool to dismantle the shackles of ignorance and prejudice. He envisioned a world where every child, regardless of their background, had access to an inclusive and quality education. An education that includes the contributions, discoveries, inventions, and so much more of people of color. A history of success and pride in which they too can envision contributing to as they learn of the legacies of those that came before them. For him, education was a means to bridge a gap between different communities, fostering understanding and unity. The fight for inclusivity in our educational system is profoundly important in shaping the minds of our children. Throughout history, the narratives presented in mainstream history books have often not been complete, have often been incomplete, skewed, and purposefully biased, and our contributions have been neglected or overlooked. For far too long, the stories of African Americans, our achievements, struggles, and resilience have been omitted or downplayed in educational curricula. This diabolically deliberate omission has created a distorted narrative that has failed to recognize the full extent of Black contributions to various fields, including the sciences, art, literature, and social justice movements. Now, as a parent of 3 children, I understood the assignment. I understood that it was my job to teach my children the truth about contributions of Black folks in our history. We are so much more than what they've chosen to teach us. We are more than Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, George Washington Carver, and Sojourner Truth. Now make no mistake, I am not standing here or downplaying the contributions of these amazing Black historical figures. Not at all. However, I am also saying that we are also Fannie Lou Hamers, Katherine Johnsons, May Carroll Jemisons, Gladys West, Walter Lincoln Hawkins, Annie Easleys, and so many more. So many more. Recognizing and teaching the accurate history of our contributions is a step towards dismantling systemic racism. It allows space and appreciation of the richness and diversity of our collective heritage. Dr. King himself fought against this historical erasure, emphasizing the importance of acknowledging the dignity and worth of each individual, irrespective of their race or background. By understanding and appreciating a full spectrum of human experiences, we move closer to realizing his dream of living together as brothers and sisters. Dr. King himself fought and found it necessary that we remain vigilant in challenging and rectifying historical inaccuracies. An accurate portrayal of history isn't just a matter of rectifying past wrongs. Again, it is a commitment to fostering understanding, empathy, and unity among all people. The contributions of Black Americans in our shared history is invaluable, from the struggles of the Civil Rights Movement to walking through the streets of Ferguson with our hands up. African Americans have played a pivotal role in shaping the narrative of justice and equality. The justice marches and sit-in protests led by African American activists and allies stand as a powerful milestone in the ongoing quest for justice and change. Let's focus a minute on intersectionality in the fight for racial justice and equality. Intersectionality emphasizes the interconnected nature of various social identities such as race, gender, class, and more. Recognizing the intersectionality of marginalized groups is vital for a comprehensive understanding of the challenges we face and for building a united front in the pursuit of equality and justice. Dr. King understood the importance of solidarity and collaboration among different marginalized communities. The fight for racial justice must be inclusive and intersectional, acknowledging the unique challenges faced by Black individuals as well as the compounded challenges experienced by those who belong to multiple marginalized groups. By embracing intersectionality, we strengthen our collective efforts to dismantle systemic inequalities. The struggles for racial justice, gender equality, LGBTQI+ rights, AAPI, and disability rights, among others, are interconnected threads that are woven into the fabric of a broader movement. Taking a stand against racial injustice includes us standing in solidarity with all marginalized communities. There is a call to action that requires more than mere reflection on the issues we face as change agents. It is my belief that we are called to confront the deep-seated issues of racism and systemic injustices that persist in our society and actively work towards dismantling the structures that perpetuate inequality. If not us, who? If not now, when? For far too long, we've been told to just sit and be patient. Things are changing, and yes, they are. They're getting better, albeit slowly. I'm all for change, but I have to admit that I'm impatient. What I'm short on is that patience and accepting the same regurgitated rhetoric of patience and perseverance and long suffering. Change is achieved through the actions of individuals who are willing to stand against the status quo. My hope is grounded in the belief that as a society, we continue to evolve and learn from our past. I'm committed to this ongoing work, and my hope is that you will continue to walk alongside those who are equally committed. So where do we start? The success and roles of grassroots organizations historically and presently cannot be overlooked, and we need more of them. During the Civil Rights Movement, the SCLC, Southern Christian Leadership Conference, became a driving force behind many of the movement's initiatives through nonviolent direct action, grassroots organizing, and community mobilization. Dr. King's leadership within the SCLC played a crucial role in the success of various campaigns, including the Montgomery bus boycotts in December of 1956 and the Birmingham campaign in 1963. Those campaigns demonstrated the power of collective action. The successful outcomes of those campaigns led to a Supreme Court ruling that declared segregation on public buses to be unconstitutional. And it led to the desegregation of public facilities, as well as the hiring of African Americans in various city jobs. Two campaigns that started as sparks. The fire doesn't immediately roar, y'all. It doesn't immediately roar. It starts with a spark that looks a lot like all of us. Start a fire. Start a fire. Start a fire by sparking conversations like this one in your friends groups, your workplaces, around the table, in gatherings of family, and in your congregations. The urgency of dismantling racism and injustices cannot wait for a convenient time. It cannot wait for a time when we're comfortable. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Challenge your family and friends to move beyond the uncomfortable conversations. Challenge your congregations to move forward and beyond the comfort of the pulpits and join the fight for justice on the front lines. Remind them that the church has a moral responsibility to advocate for justice, equality, and the inherent dignity of every individual. As pillars of the communities in which we live and worship, our churches should be at the forefront of the struggle against racial injustice. Draft and execute your own letter from Birmingham. So let me leave you with this as I close. We must be courageous in the face of systemic racism, question societal norms that perpetuate inequality, and actively and without reservation challenge discriminatory practices. Our work is not done, my friends. Our work is not done. As Dr. King and his allies set foot across the Edmund Pettus Bridge arm in arm with a shared vision of transformation, transformative change, and a collective voice, courage was displayed in the face of adversity. Just as courage was shown earlier, and now in the face of adversity, as all of you came out in this weather. You showed up, continue to show up. Each of you is an inspiration in the fight for social change. Embrace your calling. The sacrifices made then empower us to continue the fight for change that Dr. King and his allies envisioned. And in the face of adversity, when they tell us to be silent and sit, to accept the history that they view as true and representative, where we have diabolically and purposefully been omitted from, we will vigorously, passionately, and with unwavering voices, spirit, and purpose, respond by standing. Standing in our right to be treated fairly, justly, and without discrimination. We will stand as a collective, as a system of our own, composed of intersectionality and power. A power that demands our voices be heard and our purpose realized. When they tell us to sit and give up on this fight, we must continue to battle. Not with implements forged from steel and words born out of ignorance, but with the weaponry of intellect and unwavering commitment. At times there may be a cost and potentially some discomfort. Yet Dr. King said, and I quote, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." Thank you all for coming out tonight.
Thank you again, Christian Greer. Well, this year marks the 32nd year that Missoula has had a community celebration for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. A committee of volunteers plans and carries out events with speakers, music, films, and a beautiful art and essays submitted by young people from kindergarten to 12th grade. The large number of people who come to this event sends an important message to others in Montana and beyond that our community believes in the importance of equity, justice, human rights, and other principles that comprise the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This committee is grateful for the many local and area businesses that contribute to this annual event, as well as the volunteers who begin working to coordinate the event each September. A list of sponsors can be found on your program, but in spite of our generous sponsors and volunteers, we do, however, require some extra funds for a portion of our programming, like honorariums for our inspiring speakers, one whom you just heard, and also to continue to be able to donate to local racial justice organizations in our community. So, if you're able, the MLK Day Planning Committee asks that you contribute to our event. We made it easy for you with 3 different ways that you can give. You can donate through the QR code on your program or at the merch table after the event. And now, as we pass the hat, so any contribution that you make is greatly appreciated. The most important gift, however, is that you've already given it, and it's you being here today and being attentive. So whether you can give or not, thank you for helping us, helping Missoula commemorate this important holiday. Well, while that hat is being passed around, we would like to introduce or welcome musician Josh Farmer. Josh Farmer is a dynamic and versatile musician based in Missoula. Not only is he a talented multi-instrumentalist and band leader, he also uses his musical skills to enrich his community while working with local choirs and music education programs. With a unique blend of jazz, R&B, and Americana influences, he brings joy and energy to every performance. Keep an eye out for his upcoming second studio album, which promises to showcase his eclectic style and musical range.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here. It's an honor to be here. Good morning, evening, friends. Here's your friendly announcer. I have serious news to pass on to everybody. What I'm about to say could mean the world's disaster, could change your joy and laughter to tears and pain. It's that love's in need of love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away. Hate's going round, breaking many hearts. Stop it, please, before it's gone too far. The force of evil plans to make you its possession, and it will if we let it destroy everybody. We all must take precautionary measures. If love and peace you treasure, then you hear me when I say that love's in need of love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away. Hate's going round, breaking many hearts. Stop it, please, before it's gone too far. That first tune is by Stevie Wonder, of course. And this next one is a song I wrote recently. May we all get the rest that we need. May we all feel the ebb of the pain. May we all stay afloat in this water, rising high again. Well, hallelujah once more. Come, let's settle all of our scores, and may the trickle flow in full force. Hallelujah once more. myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be, yeah. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be, whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Everybody, let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy and there is still a light that shines on me, shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music, Mother Mary, she comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. All right, let's go. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Thank you very much.
Wow. You know, sometimes I come up here, I don't know what to say. First of all, I would just like to acknowledge the committee. I was a part of the committee and I know how hard you have to work to be a part of making this happen. So again, please recognize folks in the committee, if you would stand. So I'm a part of the Montana Black Collective, Missoula, and if I could actually have those folks stand, please. Oh yeah, there's more than 3 of us. Murray and Rajim, Jaitan, Jason, I don't see him here tonight, but we're kind of an organization that came out of some of the things that Ms. Chris was talking about. A few years ago, George Floyd got, killed, and some things were happening Just so you guys know, I don't speak as eloquently as Murray. I don't speak as eloquently as, so I'm speaking from the heart. I don't like to read things because it just confuses me. Anyways, so we started this organization a few years ago after George Floyd was killed. There was some stuff that happened here in Missoula as a result of that, and some things happened. And we realized that there's no organization here in Missoula that does the work that we do that come from our side of what we feel and what we do and how we feel and what society has done. So the Black Collective was formed a few years ago, and we are part of the Missoula community. One of the things I want to also acknowledge is the Black Student Union. When I came here in 1979, if I didn't have the Black Student Union here as a part of it, that's how long I've known Murray. He's the younger of the two of us. He'd like me to say that, but he's the older of the two. So I'd like to acknowledge the Black Student Union. I just want to give him a hand. But I'm going to repeat it anyway. The Montana Black Collective Missoula is a grassroots organization dedicated to empowering people of color in Missoula by providing community support, cultural heritage protection, and personal growth and development. We are committed to dismantling racism, promoting diversity and inclusion, and advocating for equitable outcomes. Our core values include education, cross-cultural understanding and compassion, civic engagement, social justice, economic justice, and transcendence. This is from me. This is in the spirit of Martin Luther King, who was so great at pointing out the obvious. I can't repeat all the things that our keynote speaker, but I wrote some things down. It's pretty short. I want to leave you with some important pieces about this work. It does not exist in isolation. Structural racism, which come out of the idea that because my cranium is bigger, means that everything I engage in, I am superior, has defined cultural, hierarchical, and any other word that you want to put in front of racism. On top of that, history cumulatively has continued to impact and be interconnected with institutions and policies, compounding relations and rules that reinforces the very heartbeat of racism. The work should then be focused on how do we make this right together. I want to leave you with a quote from James Baldwin, a civil rights activist and writer. Please try to remember that what they believe as well as what they do and cause you to endure does not testify to your integrity, but to their inhumanity. Thank you guys. Thanks everyone.
Moving along with our program, next is our youth keynote speaker, Sylvie Aganoti Tower. Sylvie is an undergraduate student at the University of Montana studying biochemistry and health science. Her ultimate goal is to pursue medical school and eventually become a licensed OBGYN. Through her career, Sylvie wants to combine her passion for social and racial advocacy with a medical profession. Currently, she serves on the Empower in Montana's Youth Advisory Council and is a co-facilitator of ABY, which is the Association of Biopic Youth. Sylvie is an active member of the Black Student Union on campus, and she strives to further her sense of self and impact on others through continual community engagement. Coming up is Sylvie.
space we currently occupy, next to you, behind you, around you, and take a moment to recognize the instantaneous community we have created. In this room, we have gathered here, united under a single purpose, to honor and remember the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. But beyond that, consider the quote: "We have learned to fly the air like birds, swim the sea like fish, but we have not learned the simple art of living together as brothers." With our current state of social media and news, constantly being inundated with harsh laws, intense debates about abortion rights, critical race theory in schools, gender-affirming care for trans individuals, war, and genocide, it's easy to feel like Martin Luther King's words still hold true, and in some ways, they do. In our very own state, we've had officials who oversee public education condemn the idea of analyzing race and racism and their role in history in society. The law SB 99 was introduced, which legally dampens all state workers from being able to discuss or provide gender-affirming care to minors. I'm very proud to say it was struck down by a district court judge this September. And this brings up two questions for me. How will we learn from our past mistakes if we do not address past transgressions? How will we learn to live together as brothers if we outlaw each other's existence? Sometimes we feel disheartened and concerned, but if we are all here today to honor the impact and change one person had on the world, it makes me wonder, what are each and every one of you capable of? Living as brothers doesn't have to mean solving massive systemic issues. One of the most powerful tools we have is our voice, and more so, our actions. If you're old enough, you can vote. If you're not, you can still contact and reach out to representatives because they make the change in our legislative bodies. If we convene here today to appreciate and applaud his work, then we are the kind of people who can be change makers ourselves. Being here today shows that you are ready to do the work. Change, as we often discuss it, can happen to the environment around us, but personal growth is equally incredible. By reaching out to others, listening to their stories and perspectives, a sense of belonging is instilled. I've had the fortunate experience of meeting a group of kids like me who have grown up in Montana as people of color in the group ABY, which is the Association of BIPOC Youth. To hear their stories and learn more about them is inspiring, because many of them want to impact their schools and communities in positive ways. I feel highly motivated by them. And it reminds me that there is a generation of youth, including myself and all those amazing people sitting over there, that we want a future that is better for everyone. And yeah, that's been really amazing to work with them. I want to again thank each and every one of you for being here today. You all have the power to spread kindness, do good deeds, and continue Martin's legacy. Thank you so much.
All right, hi everyone, my name is Jess Moniz Hernandez, and I'm the Youth Engagement Specialist with Empower Montana. Here with me are Haley Michelson, an MSW practicum student working with us, and we have Mars Jaeger and Lizzie Mills-Lowe, who are both part of our Youth Advisory Council, which Sylvie is also part of. So we have some amazing youth that we work with. And before we jump into the Youth Art and Essay Contest information, we're going to share a little bit about our youth program so you know what we do at Empower Montana. Okay, yay, I did it. So my name is Lizzie Mills-Lowe. I'm a senior at Sentinel High School and a member of the Youth Advisory Council. This is my 5th year on the council, and it's been a really awesome experience working with Empower. I am so lucky to get to be here every year, and I am a co-facilitator of ABBY, the Association for BIPOC, so that's Black, Indigenous, People of Color, Youth. So essentially what ABBY does is provide an affinity space for young students of color, and it's really been something that I've dreamt of for years and years, like ever since I was introduced to Empower. So seeing it actually be a real youth program is so incredibly amazing. And I love all of the youth that I get to work with, and we get to really just form that community for, I don't know, people that don't get that here. So yeah, it's really special, and I'm so happy to be a part of it.
I am Mars Jager. I am the Queer Youth Program Specialist at Empower Montana. So I co-facilitate 2 programs, Youth Forward and VU Crew, and those are our queer youth programs. I am also on the Youth Advisory Council, and I just want to talk a little bit about that for a second. So most of us got on the Youth Advisory Council by attending our Empower Montana's Youth Leadership Institute, which is a summer camp that happens at the end of July. And it's this fantastic opportunity for youth to learn leadership skills and learn more about each other and listen to each other. And it's also a really great way to build allyship, which is very important. So yeah, also that is how we learned our skills to be able to be on the Youth Advisory Council. Things that we do is we actually lead at camp. We lead most of our activities. We also get to lead at, what are those called? Trainings, yes. We get to lead at trainings, which is pretty scary, but it's also very empowering to get up as a youth and teach other people and hear other people's experiences. Yeah, and another thing we get to do as the Youth Advisory Council is look at all of the amazing submissions that we've gotten from so many youth in Missoula, and we get to look through them and we get to judge them, but it's not that scary, I promise. And I'm just so excited to share with you all of our winners.
Thanks, Lizzie and Mars. And if you're curious about more information for our youth programs, can be found on a flyer on the back table in the entryway. So we're going to move towards our youth art and essay contest. A little bit of history on it. The MLK Day Planning Committee would like to honor Lynn Schwenke for her years of service for this contest. Through her years of service to the Missoulian, Lynn was integral to the success of the Youth Art and Essay Contest from 1992 up until her retirement. We honor her dedication to the education and artistry of youth. We'd also like to thank our donors and sponsors, Clearwater Credit Union, YWCA Missoula, Run Wild Missoula, Emmanuel Lutheran Church, UCC Missoula, Farmers State Bank, Empower Montana, and our Empower Montana Youth Advisory Council. So this year, the quote that was used as a prompt for the Youth Art and Essay Contest was a quote from Dr. King. We have learned to fly the air like birds and swim the sea like fish, but we have not learned the simple art of living together as brothers.
Awesome, thank you all. So this year we had over 350 submissions, which is pretty remarkable. So thank you all for participating. We had submissions from all over Missoula County, many different schools, and we just want to thank everybody who submitted to the contest. It was very hard for the Youth Advisory Council to make their decisions, but great work to everybody. Let's see. Another exciting thing, the artwork and essays of the contest winners have been published in the Missoulian online edition of today, so you can go take a look there. And then I just want to remind everyone that this is an open and free space. we're cultivating for each other, and the artwork and stories that we're about to see and hear will depict various lived experiences, and we ask that you show respect for these students' pieces. And we have a video that's going to roll here in just a second, but I just want to say to our winners again, congratulations. And when you hear your name, please come up and see the fabulous Lizzie and Mars, and they will give you your award. So thank you all so much for being here, and we'll get started. We have Margot Hulling, if you want to come on up. Congratulations. Eleanor Rose. Ella Hinkle. Eliza McDonald. Zeb Siegel. Lucy Pino. Opal Miller. Sam Jollis. Bauer. Aspen Baker. David Heisel. Nyla Armentrout. Burchell.
He fought for many people.
Alaya DiDomenico, and let's hold our applause for Alaya.
Hi, my name is Alaya, and I'm going to read you my poem called The Same Mistake. Hope you like it. Though we have learned to swim, to fly, our souls are starved of acceptance, so they push away and lie. Even our hearts continue to fight for the lack of light from another. We have yet to walk together as brothers, though there is so much we've already discovered over time. The human race claims so divine, yet we are violent and hurtful to those of a different line. Maybe we are not so sublime. I wish for a world where we live together as brothers, hand in hand. We're all foolish, sure, but that is just a fantasy that I have conjured, to forget the symphony of pain that we have yet to set aside for one another, as though someone could be judged by their color. We have achieved so much as people. We have learned and we have tried and failed, but we always manage to rise above. Yet, you see, we continue to make the same mistake. We forget to love.
Now we have Alexandria Miller.
When will we look at people with the kindness they deserve? We were all children once, filled with boundless laughter. We all have love within, right? Shouldn't we respect every creature as if they were our kin? When will the only thing dividing us be distance and not our own skin? When will cultures collide and unite to become a community? A community of grocery store goers, lawnmowers, brothers, sisters, children. A community with respect for others, a community of health. A community of human beings, not separated by religion, appearances, and wealth. When will we come together and become stronger? Untangle the hate and jealousy and fear, and not let the barriers we once made get in our way. When will the past be the past and the future better? We've built so much. Airplanes so we can expand our wingspan, soar with power. We can dive to the ocean floor, explore the coral reefs, breathe with our own gills, yet when will we start living like brothers and forever? Will we live all alone, stuck behind a computer with ideas kept to ourselves, weakened by solitude? Or will we collide, unite, rally, protest, speak up for those who can't speak up for themselves, and become better? Will children learn from their parents' mistakes and take our dying world and sew it back together? What are we waiting for? Why do we stall? Will your compassion be shared with the world or with no one at all?
And now I'm going to welcome up Katie Carson to read their piece. Hi, so we have Katie, a senior at Hellgate High School. She first moved to Missoula in 2016, where she has been working, living, and learning ever since. During her time in Missoula, Katie has been through hardships that eventually brought light to the world of racial justice and equity, learning how to use her voice to educate and encourage others, and she loves to do it. Here's Katie.
Hi, thank you everybody for showing up. Just in general, for everybody who has spoken today, it's been really revolutionary and I am blown away. I am so grateful to be picked for first place, and I have to thank the Youth Advisory Council for that. It's crazy to me. Give them a hand, seriously. 350 Thank you. And now for my poem, Black Girl. I am from Peace, but but I was raised with the insinuation that I am dangerous, and under my belt is a gun. Under my curls is a skull that cradles a brain only thinking of violence and irrational destruction. Under my skin are veins that pulse, carrying disappointment, rising into scars. Under my lips is a voice, one that is loud and only curses. Under my face are insecurities who eat away at my being, leaving me unrecognizable. Under my name there are labels, some that define me and others that I was born with. Aggressive, greedy, impatient, Negro. I am from beauty, but I was raised by the devil. I was told I was created by gods, that religion flowed through me, that religion would protect me. It would save me from who they thought I was and from who I knew I would be. That religion would build me, shape me into something that is the white affair, the white ideal. That religion would destroy me when I sin against it, no longer an avid believer, and instead, someone who skips church every Sunday. That religion would sing to me sorrows of the histories I am yet to live again, secrets in the nativity scenes. That religion would hide me away from the truth, isolated from the influence of my blackness. I am from loneliness, but I was raised in places where no one looked like me. I bloomed into unacceptance in fear of my own melanin. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. Let's give it up again for appreciation for Katie for sharing her voice. And congratulations to all the contest winners, and thank you to all who participated.
I just feel like they deserve another round of applause. Well, as we wrap up tonight, this evening, I wanted to say thank you so much for coming out to support our youth and to learn more about Martin Luther King Jr. and what we can do to ensure his legacy lives on. A reminder for everyone, after this gathering, we invite you to our community social. It will be connected to this building in the fellowship hall. There's a lot of food, amazing food prepared by Mary Pierce, who you heard from earlier, Avery Show, and Dominic. Another reminder, stop by the merch table in the back on your way out. Mugs and shirts and much more is there. Also, it's another opportunity for you to give back or to donate. Well, last but not least, our last performance of the night is from Andre Floyd. He is who introduced us to the program. He started off the program with his music, and I will introduce him. Andre Floyd is a singer/songwriter who grew up all over the world, from Maine to Panama, from Montana to Mississippi. Andre has performed all over. In 2017, Andre was asked to write the new music for To Kill a Mockingbird and to play the preacher in the University of Montana's production of Harper Lee's classic In China. So it's safe to say he has reached most of the world with his music and civic leadership. Here's more from Andre Floyd.
Thank you. I am not Andre Floyd, but I am a member of the Martin Luther King Jr. Planning Committee, and I just want to ask everyone to stand and acknowledge our wonderful host, Kiera Sam, for what a wonderful job she did. See you next year. I'm going to do a song by Willie Nelson's son. One of my favorites. I believe that every heart
mostly just a little underused. Hatred is a symptom of the times, lost in these uneducated blues. I just wanna love you while I can. All these other thoughts have me confused. I don't need to try and understand. Maybe I'll get up, turn off the news. Turn off the news and build a garden. Just my neighborhood and me. We could feel a lot less hard. We could feel a lot more free. Turn off the news and raise the kids. Give them something to believe in. Give them hope and understanding. Give them something they can see. Hope that they can see. Turn off the news and raise a garden with me. Trust builds trust. All this negativity's a bust. Trust builds trust. Don't you want to be happy? Turn off the from a coast to